Hi there and welcome to Gamers Lounge with me, Sean Paul Johnston. Coming up in this episode, we have a really cool item that we're going to show off for you retro gamers. We go where no goat has gone before, and we discuss the recent Xbox One rumours, also known as Project Scorpio. Stay tuned for that.
Games Lounge.
You're in for a treat, people. We've got a special surprise that we got sent to the studio a couple of days ago, and we've got inside this secret chest here, the mystery chest. We're going to open this bad boy up and we're going to show you what we've got. So Lindsay, let's get to it.
Oh.
Open the chest.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been dying to see this. I've obviously been looking forward to this for a while now. I got in touch with people. I'll let you know what it is in a second. And yeah, I'm looking forward to opening this up. So I think you guys will be excited about it as well. Ta-da! Zelda tune playing in the background. Oops. Wow, check this out, people. Let's get rid of this box. So this here is the Super Famicon, the box art collection by Bitmap Books. It was set up by graphic designer Sam Dyer, and they make retro gaming books based on old consoles like the Commodore 64, the Amiga, and obviously here the Super Famicom. In this book here, it's talking about the Japanese games, the boxes that were released in Japan. Lindsay, what's the difference between the Japanese ones and the American ones, or the Western ones, UK ones?
Well, the boxes in Japan were portrait, whereas the ones over here were landscape.
Yeah. So, if you remember the Western releases here in the UK, especially here in the UK, was when you got the box, it was landscape, as Lindsay says, and you opened it up and you'd have your game in there in the cellophane bag thing, you'd open it up, really beautiful and stuff. The Japanese, yeah, they had the portrait versions of these instead, and I think the actual slidey bit that came in, the actual plastic casing was a little bit different as well. But yeah, so this is the book. Tell us a little bit, how does it feel?
It feels really high quality. It feels pretty gorgeous, actually.
So this material, I'll tell you some of the details about the book. It's a hardback, so this one's a hardback, and it's lithographic print. It's sewn binding, so it's obviously really well made.
That in there.
Yep, really well made, so you can obviously open up and gawk at the images and adore them. And it's charcoal grey colour, and it's made from wibbling, I don't know how that's pronounced properly, wibbling covered with gold foil back logo.
I think that's a really nice touch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really classy. And you can see it's got like the Famicom buttons there, the iconic image. So some Japanese text, I presume that says the box art collection. So just doing some Japanese, which is awesome.
And then down the side as
Yeah,
well.
and it's got some details on the back here about the book itself. This is really nice. It was a collaboration between many different people, critics of the artwork. There was interviews with other collectors explaining what they liked about the format or loved about the format. One of the contributors as well was Steve Jarrett. He was the launch editor of Edge magazine. If you're in the UK and you're into your gaming magazines or games, you've probably come across Edge. Really high quality gaming magazine by Future Publishing, I think it is. And also the Nintendo magazine Total. He oversaw the text in the book, so he made sure it was a really high standard, as you can tell here. And he also helped write this forward as well, so that was
right
Steve
here.
Jarrett. And yeah, this book was basically sourced from the archives of Stuart Brett, who's also known as the Super Famicon guy. So if you know who he is, you'll know what this is about, and this is how it's all come about. So yeah. I think I mentioned earlier as well, yeah, Sam Dyer was the one who set up the actual studio.
Where did you see
publishing.
this?
I really want to see it myself.
Wow.
Really nice, isn't it? And the paper is like, let me just have you feel this.
It feels so glossy.
Yeah, it's like, you imagine like a really, well in fact, it's very similar to Edge. If you imagine what Edge is like when you open up Edge.
They collaborated with Italian-based illustrators as well.
As far as I'm aware, these are like one-to-one photographs of the boxes themselves. And they aren't just like computer graphics, they are the actual boxes.
Yeah.
So you can see the scuffs on the edges, you can see wear marks and stuff, but they're still really beautiful quality. and they've got little descriptions of them, tells you about the game, tells you a little bit about the game and the description of it. And yeah, just is it a page for each game? Yeah.
Yes, and it's a little bit of critique on each of the artwork.
Now there is two versions. This is the normal version, which is £24.99 or around $40 in the US. There is also a collector's edition, a special collector's edition, which comes
a naughty word there.
which comes in an oversized Super Famicom style game box. And if you know what the game boxes are like, you'd open it up and it's got the plastic casing and you pull it out. But it's also got the little cards that came in the boxes, like the warranty card, the returns card and stuff, instruction manual as well. So they've made it like a super oversized Famicom box, obviously square, but it's like a box anyway. And that also includes artwork by Will Overton, which was the former lead concept artist at Rare. Now we are going to have this in studio for a little while, but you can get yours at www.bitmapbooks.co.uk. We'll put up somewhere here and you can click it, it'll take you straight to their site and straight to this page to order this yourself. And yeah, it's global shipping, so you can buy this throughout the world. And if you're in the UK, you get free shipping, which is awesome. So this copy here, we are going to be putting this into our prize draw, which will be drawn at the end of the series, which is just after E3 around the corner. So if you want a chance of winning this beauty right here, then make sure to stay tuned at the end for details on our competition. So it seems Guildford-based studios Hello Games has announced that they're delaying the much anticipated No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a procedurally generated game where you can fly literally down from space down to the planet itself, and there's billions of planets to explore. Chances are you'll never meet anyone else there because there's so many, but the fact that you can do this is something that people have been looking forward to since it was first announced back in 2014. So Sean Murray from the company, Sean Murray, who is the creator of No Man's Sky, said, "The game really has come together and it's such an incredible relief. As we sit and play it now, and as I watch playtesters every day, I can finally let myself get excited we're actually doing this. However, as we approached our final deadlines, we realised that some key moments needed extra polish to bring them up to our standards. I have had to make the tough choice to delay the game for a few weeks to allow us to deliver something special. The game is due to release in June, however it has been pushed back until August. In fact, August the 9th in North America and August the 12th here in the UK. So not much of a wait, and it'll be just shortly after E3, but if it gives them time to polish the game and fix up or tweak anything, then that's a good thing. So we'll look forward to seeing that. Gone North Games, or if you're aware of them under Coffee Stain Studios, who make Goat Simulator, they've just released some download content for the game, and it's called Waste of Space. So in this, you are going to be the goat flying in space, and you're going to be doing things as you do in space. And it's got lots of references and jokes that are all kind of pointing towards franchises we love and know, like Star Trek, Star Wars. I presume there'll be stuff in there for aliens or whatever. But yeah, loads of different references to all those things, kind of humorous stuff. So it looks like they've beaten Star Citizen to the epic sci-fi spacefaring game that we've all been looking forward to. It's going to be available on Steam for £3.99 here in the UK and $4.99 in the US. So definitely go and check that out. There is a trailer on YouTube, I'll put a link to it here. And the trailer, it seems like it's voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It'd be really interesting to know if it was, but if not, then it's a voice-alike kind of guy, which is a really good job that he's done, and it's a pretty funny trailer. So go and check that out on YouTube. So yeah, with the recent release of Doom and people universally praising it, it's been a massively successful revamp of the genre or the game itself, so people have been enjoying it for the last few weeks. Well, we stumbled across a video for what is called Claycat's Doom, and this is a lovely little short video you want to watch, and it's based on the Doom universe, and it's basically a cat that goes completely chaos and kills everything set in the Doom universe. It's created by British animator Lee Hardcastle, and yeah, that is his real name. Sounds like something out of Duke Nukem. and also sound designer Tim Atkins. And it's a brilliant little claymation. Go check it out, it'll get you a smile on your face. Rovio Animation must be delighted that Angry Birds has shot to #1 in the US box office. It is now the fastest or biggest grossing video game related film in history, and it even knocked off Captain America Civil War. It looks like other video game properties, Warcraft, the beginning, hasn't been getting such great reviews, and it looks like it's possibly not going to do as well as people hoped. It's still due to come out here probably today when you're watching this video, so it'll be interesting to see how it does here in the UK. We're going to post links to all these stories in the description so you can check them out yourselves. Oh, that cover is hilarious. I remember that one. Oh my god. Oh, hi there. Sorry, I was just checking out some previous covers. Anyway, this week's discussion is going to be about the recent Xbox One rumours that have been floating around on Kotaku and other sites since then. These stories have been backed up or corroborated by industry insiders like Kaysa McDonald's, I think her name is, from IGN, ex-IGN staff member, journalist, and she's also on Game Informer, I think now. So if you'll recall back in previous episodes, we've discussed the rumours about the PlayStation 4.5, the PlayStation 4 Neo, and we kind of discussed our thoughts and opinions on that, what we liked and disliked about the idea of an upgraded PlayStation 4. And we're going to go into the Xbox One now, the rumours that have been going around, and discussing what we like and dislike about that. And there was rumours that there is going to be an Xbox One Slim. The idea is, or the rumours are, that the Xbox One will have a 2TB hard drive. It'll be up to 40% smaller, and it's going to be able to stream 4K. That's not play games in 4K, just stream 4K content. That's all good and dandy, no issues with that at all. An Xbox One Slim is fine. And obviously, probably going to come out for cheaper, maybe I'd say around the £200 ballpark, maybe 150 even, which makes sense after 3 years of the console being out. Maybe release an Xbox One Slim, £200, maybe with a game or something, fine. The second rumour, however, is a little bit more worrying and interesting at the same time. Now, this is Project Scorpio, as it's being called, and it's a new Xbox One. It's an upgraded model, kind of similar to the PlayStation 4 Neo. And this new model is rumoured to be capable of playing 4K games. And it's also going to collaborate in some way with the Oculus Rift. Now, if you think about what happened when the Oculus Rift was announced at its official press conference, this is when they were actually announcing the date and everything for its release. They did bundle it with an Xbox One controller, so it's not unprecedented for Microsoft or Xbox even to collaborate with Oculus on their actual headset. So maybe this is the next progression. So this would be their way of getting into the VR side of it and not have to spend too much money. They can just do a collaboration with Oculus and Facebook, I presume. However, it does pose some questions. How are they going to get the machine capable enough to run it? If you remember the specs, and we'll post these up here just now, the specs to run Oculus Rift were quite a beefy PC. We're talking something that would cost you in the region of about £1,000. So is Microsoft going to make a new machine, an Xbox One that's capable of the equivalent of a £1,000 machine? Obviously in a year's time or something, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, but you're still looking at a pretty beefy machine. So are they going to sell that machine for the same price as what they're selling an Xbox One now? Are they going to sell it for £500, £600? Who knows? It kind of leads me into my next idea, and I think this is kind of where things are going. Whether this transpires or not is another matter of discussion. But if they want to make a machine that's capable of playing something like the Oculus Rift or working with the Oculus Rift, and it's going to be a beefy PC, how do they stop or prevent annoying their current users, the ones who already forked out £400 or £500 for an Xbox One? Well, if it's something like a trade-up program, let's say you've currently got an Xbox One, you trade it in, you get £200 trade-in value for your Xbox One. I'm just making up a figure here, by the way. It could be £300, it could be £100. But the idea is you get a trade-up fee or price for your current console, and then you go and buy the new one. That way you can then equate it in your head. I got 3 years worth of use out of this, I'm quite happy with that. I'm getting £100 back to now upgrade. It could also go down the line of something like what the iPhones do, where if you're going to have more iterative consoles that are upgrading on a more regular frequency, then maybe what you do is you bring in something like a payment plan or a payment option. So let's say you want the latest version of the Xbox One, then you can buy that and you maybe pay a down payment of say £100. Then each month you pay maybe £20, £30, whatever it would work out as, but you pay that money each month, and that includes the machine, but you also get the built-in services that go with it. So I'm talking about Xbox Live here, or in the PlayStation's case, PlayStation Plus. So in that sense, in that context, it seems quite an appealing, attractive option. If you can say, well, you're going to get an Xbox One that's equivalent of a £1,000 PC that can run Oculus Rift, play 4K games, it's got a 2 terabit, 3, whatever size drive in it, and it's all the bells and whistles, it's worth about £1,000. You put a down payment of £100, even £200, and for the next 2 years you pay £20. Well, you're looking at an extra £450 or £500 almost there in payments. So then if you add in the money, that's like £750 you're paying. So that kind of works out not too bad. Now that there sounds like a really good option to me. And it means if you do bring out upgrades over every couple of years, it's much more appetizing, or it's much more accepting for someone who's willing to buy a console. I'll always go back to what I said before. If in the current format, when you buy a console and you pay £400, the expectation in your head is to get a console that's going to last you for 4 or 5 years. And you're happy to pay that money because you get your value out of it. If consoles start coming out every 2 years, they can't stick with the current plan, the current format, where you pay a big chunk fee and then it upgrades after 2 years. It just doesn't work. People who have bought the console, I don't think they'll upgrade unless it's cheap enough to do. And from what it sounds like, I don't see how they can get it under £400, £500. Gamers that are on the fence that have not been buying a console yet, they'll probably buy it because they're excited for getting all the bells and whistles now. I think this E3, it's going to be interesting to see what Microsoft does do at their presentation. Are they going to announce the much beefier version of the Xbox One that's due to come out in 2017 apparently, and potentially cannibalise their sales of the current Xbox One or the Xbox Slim? I don't see people buying it, even for a couple of £100, if in a year's time they're going to be getting a 4K capable machine. I really think it depends on what the price is, what the full capabilities are of the machine. But if these rumours are anything to go by, I really can't see it being the current model. It must be something different. It all depends on price. It all depends on how they put that service out there. So it's either going to backfire on them or it's going to work really well, and it will be the way consoles will go down in the future, because if it works, everyone's going to jump on that. They're going to have a payment plan. You buy the console, it offsets the costs of any losses in selling hardware at a loss. It means you can sell the machine at the current price of what you sell it for. You just pay it up, and it means it's easier for gamers, it's easier for the companies themselves. The only person that it's not maybe as good for is the developers. And it seems like developers are a little bit disgruntled with the potential upgrade rumours that they're potentially going to have to now work on several versions of a game that will work with these new consoles. Don't know how they're going to get that. I know some of the console, the actual engines, they're meant to be scalable, so maybe it's just a scalable thing like a PC. But then it still gets me back in that way of thinking again, well, why not just buy a PC? But that's where the payment plans would come in, so that makes it much more affordable and much more palatable for you as a gamer. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see what you think about that. Let us know in the comments, and we'll see how things progress at E3. And that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Remember to leave your feedback in the comment section and hit subscribe. That's probably the most important thing. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We will see you next episode as we prepare for E3, our thoughts on what we're looking forward to. So definitely check in and tune in for that one around about the 12th. We're going to have some special things going on in the studio. Hopefully some streamers coming down, playing some games, discussing what we liked and disliked about each presentation. So yeah, we'll talk about that more during the next episode, but thank you for watching.